Fighters. Fighters, fighters, fighters. Fighters here, fighters there, fighters in every story, everywhere. These include Odysseus from the Odyssey, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, or even Sokka, the best character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I said it.
Did it.
Yeah, with my whole chest. And for those of you joining us from 5e Gaming, if you want to see some of the features and things that have changed from the typical way that you play, go ahead and go over to this timestamp here, and we'll go over the Spark Notes with you. If you want to play a fighter, you're going to want to prioritize your strength and your dexterity or your intelligence. And the reason why I say dex or intelligence is because it's going to really determine what subclass you choose. Normally we don't go into subclasses a whole bunch, so I just want to say here at the start of the video that the fighters do have a spell sword type of subclass, and if you're wanting to play a fighter with more spell casting, you're going to want to buff up your intelligence instead of your dexterity.
So the first ability for fighters, kind of setting the tone for the class, is Last Stand. You'll be gaining at first level. When you take damage that would reduce your hit points to less than half your total, rounded down.
Rounded down.
You can use your reaction to spend hit dice up to your proficiency bonus. Immediately roll those hit dice and you're going to regain hit points equal to the sum of those dice plus your con modifier.
Talk about a booster shot of extra health.
Right?
Next up, we have Martial Action. Essentially, you gain expertise, allowing you to act quickly on the battlefield. You can use your bonus action on your turn in combat to perform a weapon option. There's a whole spew of listings of weapon options. You can actually check our video where we covered a lot of them. But if you've already seen that one, good news, there's still extra content here for you because you have 4 additional weapon options to choose from as a fighter. The first one is Aim. Essentially, you spend a bonus action to enhance your next ranged weapon attack against a chosen target, essentially doubling your proficiency bonus for the first attack roll against them.
The next one is going to be Guard. You're going to use a bonus action to raise your shield, imposing disadvantage on the first attack roll made by a specific enemy against you or an ally that is within 5 feet of you until your next turn.
Next up, we have Quick Strike. After attacking with a light melee weapon as part of an attack action, you can use a bonus reaction to make 2 additional attacks with another light melee weapon without adding your ability modifier to their damage unless it's negative. This gives you so many attacks at level 1. This gives you 3 attacks at level 1.
That's so cool. Then finally, the last one for this round of martial actions is going to be Wind Up, which means that you're going to ready a potential melee attack against a nearby target with a heavy or versatile melee weapon that's held in both of your hands. If you hit the target before the end of your turn, the attack deals extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus of the weapon's damage type.
At second level, you gain an ability known as Action Surge. Essentially, you can use this to gain an additional action on your turn. You can only do this once per turn, though. Notably, you gain additional uses of your Action Surge at 13th level and 18th level. That is huge. That's wild.
We don't usually talk about improvements in these videos, but I did want to take a second to call out that fighters get extra ones, so definitely pay attention to that.
At 5th level, you gain multi-attack. Essentially, you're able to attack now twice as part of your attack action, but it doesn't stop there, actually, because at 9th level, you can attack 3 times with the attack action, and at 17th level, you can attack 4 times with the attack action, which means if you are using the attack action, and then action surging, so that's 4, that's 8, plus your bonus action for Quick Strike, that is 10 total attacks that you can take on your turn as a 17th level fighter.
Step, 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 step. I can't say step fast enough.
I love that. Now, Livy, hear me out.
Oh no.
I've been fighting this war away from home, and I just want to make it back to my wife and my son. I'm not quoting the Odyssey, but if I took levels in Wizard, I could teleport home.
Why is it always Wizard with you?
Stop me? What is going to stop me from multi-classing and getting off and getting home?
James, the boons.
Not getting home.
The
How do I forget every time? What are the boons?
At level 10, your fighter's heroic boon is going to be the choice of either Defiant or Unstoppable. Defiant meaning that when you fail a save, you can just decide to succeed on it. And you can use this feature once, and then you'll regain it when you finish a long rest. But at level 13, you're going to gain the ability to use it twice before a long rest, and 3 times at 17th level.
That's wild.
I know. And then
fighters have legendary resistance.
You have legendary resistance, and you want to leave them for a couple semesters at a wizard college?
No. What is the other option for heroic boons?
It's unstoppable. You'll be unstoppable
clearly,
all the way back to your
legendary
kids.
resistances.
When you start your turn, you can choose to end one of the following conditions affecting you. They're going to be blinded, charmed, frightened, incapacitated, paralyzed, or stunned. Any of them, they're on you. You can decide, oh, no thank you. Maybe another time, BBEG. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. And you're going to regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Which, just a reminder, at level 10 when you could get this ability, that's going to be 4 times that you can say, no thank you.
Next up, for the epic boon, you have Turn the Tide. Which, by the way, if you're just now getting into some of these videos where we're diving into these classes, these epic boon titles have been so cool. Like the Bard's 20th level boon was Curtain Call, for example. Go watch that video. It's nice. Turn the Tide reads, once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature or an object with a weapon attack on your turn, you can cause that attack to deal additional damage. This additional damage is going to be equal to your strength or your dex score, your choice. And the attack's damage ignores resistances and immunities. And let's say if it's not a resistance or an immunity, it's some other fuckery, it still can't be reduced or avoided by any means. That's how you turn the tide. That's awesome. That's potentially 20 points of damage just in addition.
For funsies.
Hello and welcome to the part of the video where I try to do my absolute best to compare the Tales of the Valiant classes to the 5e classes. As you can see, there are a couple of features here that do not have a direct comparison, so I do recommend going and checking out those brand new features, but for the ones that have changed, let me try to break it down for you. First up, we have Second Wind, which is now known as Last Stand. In 5e, essentially this is a one-use ability, and you have to use a bonus action to restore 1d10 plus your fighter level worth of HP. In Tales of the Valiant, this works a bit differently, and it's actually received quite the buff. So essentially in Tales of the Valiant, when you would take damage that would reduce you to half of your total hit point maximum, you're able to spend your reaction and spend a number of hit dice equal to your proficiency bonus. You immediately roll those hit dice, and you regain the equal of the sum that you rolled, plus your con mod. So way more healing, a bit of a caveat where you have to be at least at half health, but honestly, as a last stand option, this is really cool. Next up, we have fighting styles, which are now known as martial actions. In 5e, these are a variety of choices of specializations, mostly static bonuses, and then in Tales of the Valiant, for the martial actions, these are like a bonus action to perform a special option for each weapon. We actually have an entire video for weapon options, which I believe we plugged earlier in this video, but just in case, check out the description because I want you to watch that one too. Next up, we have Action Surge. This is something that several of us should already be very familiar with. The mechanics here are still the same, but the number of uses that you gain have changed ever so slightly. So in 5e, you have 1 use at 2nd level and 2 uses at 17th level. In Tales of the Valiant, you have 1 use at 2nd, 2 uses at 13th, and 3 uses at 18th. Next up, the feature that, in my opinion, makes the fighter the fighter, in my opinion. We have the extra attack, which is now known as multi-attack. In 5e, you gain extra attacks at 5th level, 11th level, and 20th level, capping out at 4. And then in Tales of the Valiant, you have 2 attacks at 5th, 3 at 9th, and 4 at 17th. So you still have 4 multi-attack or extra attacks, but you get them sooner. Right after that, we have Indomitable, which is now known as Defiant. In 5e, you re-roll a saving throw and keep the result. So if you fail, you can do Indomitable and you try to, re-roll, get that good win. In Tales of the Valiant, this is actually replaced by one of the heroic boon options, where instead you choose to succeed a failed save. So as you can see there, already a huge improvement. The other heroic boon option, which does not have a 5e comparison, is called Unstoppable. So at the start of your turn, you end a condition that is currently affecting you. And last but certainly not least, we have the epic boon, which comes at 20th level, and this is known as Turn the Tide. To kind of break this down for you just here, once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature or an object with a weapon attack, you can essentially have the attack deal additional damage equal to your strength or dex score, not your modifier, but the score itself. So if you have a 20 strength, that's 20 extra damage that you get to throw onto your attack. The attack's damage ignores resistances and immunity, and it can't be reduced or avoided by any means. That's wild. And it's once on each of your turns. It's been a while since we've recorded the first half of this video, so you get to listen to me be amazed by this amazing ability. It broke my brain because I'm using the same words over and over again. But you didn't come here to watch me break my brain. You came here to learn. And I'm going to send it back to previous James in the past so he can do the outro. Thank you guys for watching. And that is the fighter. I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. We're trying to get them out a little bit quicker for you. We know that it's kind of painstaking waiting week after week to learn more about your favorite classes, but hey, if you're tired of waiting, you can use the link in the top of the description and you can go purchase the Tales of the Valiant Player's Guide, which, if you use that link, directly supports us here because it is an affiliate code. We are officially sponsored by Kobold Press and Tales of the Valiant. So please consider checking out their shop, use our link to directly support us, and in the meantime, we'll see you next ToVsday for a brand new video. See you later.
Bye!
Bye!